It's your show. Why am I sitting here? Who cares?
Because Dave.
Dude, Chinese fire drill chest. No. You got 15 seconds.
I'm good.
We can
It's bad if he and I are next to each other. He's going to be grabbing me.
throw shit. All right, everybody. Welcome to Fire Engineering Podcast live at FDIC. I'm your host, Dave McGlynn. This is the training officer, which is the awesomest show that Fire Engineering has because I'm your host. That's why it's a great show. So, literally, the training officer, right? We're at FDIC, the Fire Department Instructors Conference. What better than to talk about training officer stuff and the importance of training? So, I have a nice panel here of all different shapes and sizes, right? So, to my right, I got Nate House, first-time FDIC attendee, which is great. I got Chief Steve Hamilton, and I got Chief John DeFrancesco. So we're going to be bringing you some good stuff. So we got to do a little housekeeping real quick. So if you want to plug our way.
Yeah, absolutely. This is from Firehouse Subs. This whole studio right here is brought to you by the Firehouse Subs and the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation. Phenomenal foundation. Their quote is enjoy more subs and save more lives. That's a real thing. So find out more about ownership at their restaurants by going to their franchise information at firehousesubfranchising.com.
Nice. Thank you. I couldn't have said that better myself. That's why I didn't do it. That was very radio. It was really good, man.
I got a face for radio.
Right.
I've been
See,
told
that's-
this, right?
We got a new person going to be probably plugging some stuff away for everybody. So nice.
There you go.
Thanks, Nate.
Thanks.
All right, so I'll start with you, John, and we'll work our way back to me. So, John, you've been here third time. You haven't been here in a while. So tell us a bit about yourself, what you do, and then tell us about your experience this week at FDIC. Why
Sure. So I am the Assistant Chief of Training at the West Point Fire Department at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. It's my third trip to FDIC. The last time I was here was probably 15 years ago. And I can't tell you how much growth and how many things I see that have just come up and up and up and up and up since the last time I was here. Beautiful city, beautiful venue, all the vendors, the staff, all the people here just making this an incredible place. And what an opportunity for, tens of thousands of firefighters to descend upon this city and share our passion for our job, our training, and everything else we do. So I'm having a great time this week. Good seeing old friends, old buddies, hooking up, tying up our old stories and times together, and then being here learning new things as well. What a great time.
Yeah, thanks. What about you, Amy?
FDIC, man.
Yeah.
It's it is the Super Bowl of
Yes.
our profession.
Right, the greatest show.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. It's been an honor to be a contributor to present here. It's been an honor to be on the board, which you are now also on the advisory board.
Right, yeah.
And it's FDIC. You can sing it, you can sell it, but whatever I have to say is going to pale in comparison to somebody who's been here and it's their first time.
Right,
It is,
And
absolutely.
That, if you want an impression of what it's like,
right.
please go
Great,
ahead.
great
Oh,
lead-in.
Yeah,
Just like
great
what-
lead-in indeed.
He literally has never been here before.
No.
So let's hear from you.
Yeah,
First of all, tell us who you are, what you do.
Sure. Yeah, so my name's Nate House. I'm a full-time guy in the Lansing, Michigan metropolitan area, and I'm here also kind of moonlighting because I started this training company on the backs of guys like you. You've been a huge inspiration, so thank you. Bringing up mentorship, which is a huge thing, but this is my first time here. It's been 24 years on the job, and I can't believe this is the first time, probably because my wife finally said, yeah, I can go, but this has been overwhelming. You knocked out the park by saying the Super Bowl. Ability to network with people. Like I have no idea who the Chiefs are versus the new guys because everybody's just meshing together as one unity, and it's absolutely impressive. I'm actually upset that I haven't come before this.
Right.
It's breathtaking. I don't know what else to call it.
And here's the problem. You've come here now.
You're right.
The things that you're willing to do to come here again.
Yeah.
It's the Klondike
Right.
commercial, not even.
That's true.
It's not even a rate.
That's
What
true.
would you do
It's
to
not
come
even
to
a rate.
FDIC?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. You got plausible liability. I'm not going to go.
Right. No, that's hilarious. Yes, I appreciate that. So, I remember the first time I ever came out here. So I tried to come out here forever. And the first time I actually got to attend, I was an instructor. Hammy will tell you, and me and John and I call him, we were working together at West Point. Like, I literally took in everything. I flew in on Sunday, took Hammy's class on Monday, and I stayed the entire week. I went in every class I could take. I talked to everybody I could talk to. because I thought to myself, like, if I never get to come back here again, this will have been worth the experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then what I love is that you've been doing this 24 years, right? So just to see, I'm not trying to geek out on you, but see you geek out.
Oh, it's
You
awesome.
know, it's exciting. You know, so like I wrote a thing a while back about, I called it rechargeable batteries, and Duffy every year posts that thing about recharging your batteries, right? And like FDIC is literally that. Like I tell everybody, like I tell my new guys when they get hired, I'm like, in 20 years, you're gonna get on the job. Over the next 20 years, you're gonna lose friends. You're gonna be pissed off about some stupid policy. You know, you're gonna be mad about whatever else we need to do. But just know how you feel now, right? And that makes it all worth it. And it's the same thing. Like it's monotonous. The career, the job. That's what we refer to as we volunteer on a job. The job. The fire service can consume you sometimes, and I'm not speaking bad about it. It can.
Right.
You know, it pulls us away from our families. It messes with our psyche. And going to something like this, like you said, everybody talking to each other, everybody networking, seeing old friends, seeing guys you haven't seen, and just picking up. Like you never, you know, like
You would be
talking to
hard.
you through LinkedIn.
Right.
We're hitting it off all week.
That's
You know,
exactly it.
that's what FDIC brings. It literally does recharge batteries. It makes you free fall in love with our thing.
I agree with that.
You'd be hard pressed to not find something here that you have a passion about.
Right.
There's literally every topic under the sun. You go down these hallways, I'm seeing equipment that I never imagined.
Yeah.
You know, if you can't find something here that makes you happy, you're doesn't make you happy, you're doing it.
You're insane.
Yeah.
You're insane.
Yeah.
You came for the wrong reasons, 100%.
The topics and the choices of classes and the people presenting them, the full gamut, the full spectrum of everything you could possibly imagine in this job is here.
Yes.
Well, I think the thing too for me is you know, there's so much I wish they could have come back and done 20 years ago, starting out in this job, been a part of this. So it's almost like waiting extra long to open up Christmas morning coming here, and that's awesome. But what I've taken away from this is doing this mentorship training and stuff like that. Well, there have been so many opportunities, taking pictures of slogans on the side of fire engines and talking to people that it's like, I'm jotting down notes on how to make what I'm doing for the fire service better,
Right.
just based on what I've learned here. And that's huge. Like, I didn't sleep last night because my mind's going so much thinking about
Right.
what can I do here.
Yeah, that's cool.
That wouldn't have happened had I not come here, right?
Yeah. That's cool.
And the learning opportunities that you alluded to are not fenced to a classroom. They're not fenced to the workshop. It's not from 8:30 to 5:15 or whatever the classroom times are. The learning opportunities are all week. It's all week. It's at the restaurant. It's at
It's even after the show, you're learning
for sure.
something, right?
and
Right.
to be an instructor here is awesome and exhausting
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's you're going and it's great, and the fulfillment from it to be able to just sit and talk shop and grab nuances of information, like you said, it's nonstop. It's everywhere. You walk down the street, you walk in a hallway in a hotel, you go to District Tap to get something to eat and have a beer. It does not stop.
I agree.
Well, if I could add to that a little bit too, being my first time here, one of the things that I noticed about the group that puts this on is, you go to different trade shows and stuff around the country, and you go to different conferences. What I think sets this place different is that all the people involved in this really actually care a lot. And here's an example of that.
They love
They do. So last year I applied to be a speaker, not knowing what I didn't know. It got rejected. I probably would have too. I missed some steps in that process. But what I thought was impressive and it really spoke to me about the group of people that put on FDIC was they said, hey, look, here's where we didn't accept it, but here's what I want you to do. You got an idea? Just pitch it to the art, pitch it to the magazine.
Right.
So I did that.
Right.
It got bounced back. Yeah, it got bounced back with a bunch of suggestions, edits. I resubmitted it. They're going to publish it here online here in June or July, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But all along that process, there were people involved. It wasn't just like, hey, thanks for coming, thanks for your money, or whatever else. Out the door you go. I can tell you, you're my first time here, every single person involved in this, from the people at FDIC, they care a lot. And you can't put a value on something like that. That's huge.
Right. I agree. So I'll say it's just, I love hearing this kind of stuff. So like the other thing is, and it's not like it's a mafia thing. Okay. in life, in the fire service, trying to get on a job, everything, right? It's all about who you know. Okay. So like now we have this relationship. So I believe in pay it forward. So like Hamilton helped me. I got the Dear John letter 2 years in a row. He helped me reframe. Hey, this is what you should be teaching. This is what you should be talking about. This is how you're supposed to fill that out. Right? Think about it, right? So now like we're in contact with each other. So
Yeah.
we will help you along the way get the message out there. So we continue to bring and recruit the right people to teach,
Sure.
pass on a message and everything like that. The nice thing is Stephanie White was over here before.
Yeah.
She's now in charge of Fire Nation. So Fire Nation. So we'll make sure that we put you in touch with her. You'll be able to put more
Right.
stuff out. Yeah.
There you go.
Stephanie's in charge of that, so we'll be able
That's
to get
awesome.
some more content. But that's just it. It's like that's the stuff. Here's a guy, 24 years, trying to shape the fire service, has a passion for training others, shows up. It's like I didn't get picked 2 years in a row. You know, there's articles I submitted. They were just, you know, we're not going to run this one, right?
Mhm.
You don't give up. So I share that with people that have attended that are trying to teach here, right? I say this every year. One, be relevant. I don't mean that like social media presence. I mean be relevant in like what you're talking about. You are truly a subject matter expert in. You have a background and support that you are the person that should talk about that. And it's not the first time that you've put this out for people. This is the FDIC, people. It's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Tom Brady didn't try out a new trick play at the Super Bowl. They practiced that shit before the game.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's the important thing. That I'm not a Tom Brady fan, but he's the best. But anyway, you know, so where I'm going with that is like, keep trying. We need more people to share their message, put in the teach, put in articles, attend the conference, meet people, network with people, watch these shows, be friends with people to get on these shows so that you can build that platform to share your message, because that's what this is all about.
Yep.
You know, the FDIC is only a week long, but we spread a message with the 36,000 people that come and then the hundreds of thousands of people that weren't able to make it. We bring that stuff back to our station. You know, like it's a training thing. So all four of us have a training background. So you know, this panel, it was like, all jokes aside, in true Dave McGlynn fashion, it's like I was just thrown together. Like, no, my mind, you guys know me a long time. What my mind works is I already had this meticulously picked. That's why I said to you earlier, I'm like, hey, you want to come to the show later? John had no idea he was going to be on it. I knew he was going to be on it. Yeah, I knew he was going to be on it. Just to talk about training stuff. So, on what I'm saying, from the training perspective, what are some of the things that we've learned here that we can bring back, or why is there a reason that not just the firefighters should attend, but why training officers is a must that they should be here? So I'll start with you, John. We'll work.
So my big thing is you have, I said this earlier, you really have the full gamut of everything here. You can come and let's say you, from your perspective, you're a little bit not quite the expert on a certain topic. You can come here, find that topic, brush up on it, see what that guy's teaching. You know, I'm not saying come and steal people's plans or anything like that, but you can get yourself up to another level, to another degree on something you're not quite up on. The other thing is I came here to watch a lot of people who have been doing this a long time and just see how they teach. There's guys here like Jerry Knapp that have been here for like 25 years.
Right.
And you sit in someone's class that's presented at FDIC for 25 years, and you're going to walk out of there just a little bit brighter on how to present.
Mhm.
Even if the topic isn't your favorite topic, you're going to be a better instructor.
Sure.
Then, like I said earlier, the opportunities to just kind of rub elbows with everybody and just kind of bounce your ideas around, meet new people, see how they approach things, see what they have to say, and then bring it to this level, to the Super Bowl level, as you're saying.
Right.
There's a lot of room here to come home with some new ideas, learning to occur, to bring something back, to turn around, and to recharge yourself and bring that back.
Yeah.
Too. So that's what I see.
I see a great responsibility that an attendee has that perhaps they don't realize that they have. You're here. Somebody invested in you to come here. And where I understand and see that, you know, there are circumstances of, well, who are we going to send to FDIC? Well, who's the firefighter of the year? Oh, we send the firefighter of the year to the FDIC. Now, I'm not saying your firefighter of the year deserve to come to FDIC. That's not the point. If you're here, someone invested in you, you owe that investment to come back and spread what you learn.
Right.
And even if it's spreading some of the energy from your recharging your batteries, do that.
Yeah.
But the thought process of, well, we send it out as an award, or it's your turn. The person's turn it is the person that's going to come here, take as much information as they can, take it back to their organization, and say, hey, I learned this out here. Let's see how this bounces off the wall in my organization.
Right.
You owe that.
Yep.
So if you're not coming here and you're not taking notes, if you're not, taking notes on your phone, taking pictures, whatever, if you go to a class and you're not looking at it from that mindset, I'm going to be upset. I'm going to be upset. I'm not even remembering. But that opportunity to come to a place as some of the most premier instructors giving the most up-to-date information that can literally not just make life better at home, but it can save your life.
Yeah.
It can literally save your life. The greatest compliment that I have ever received as a presenter here was somebody who tracked me down and said, hey, I took your class at FDIC in year X, and you described a certain scenario. I went back, we discussed it, we hit it around, and within 90 days, that scenario happened.
Yeah.
And because we did what you discussed in your class, we didn't have somebody getting killed, and we didn't have somebody getting hurt.
Right.
And as far as I'm concerned, like, I'm done. I can hang it up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because that's the greatest thing ever.
What a compliment. What a
Yeah.
compliment. By the
And
way,
that-
it's scenario, not scenario.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. So that is why
Scenario.
you're here. That is why you come here. Do that.
Yes.
It's important.
Yes. Yeah. What do you think?
Well, and I don't want to get on in my soapbox and pontificate too much, but I got a notebook full of things that I've taken away from this. You touched on the relevancy thing for a second, and one of the things we teach, and I believe it wholeheartedly, is right now if I go on the Google web machine and I type in leadership books, you're going to get 1.9 billion with the B results.
Yeah.
That means that every single person here has got a different style. However, I will argue that the cornerstone to leadership is the relevancy standard. And it's very easy. Am I being relevant? If I am, keep doing that. If I'm not, do something different. And I would argue that coming here is the first step in that relevancy standard. There's so much to learn. And one of the things that I absolutely appreciate about FDIC and the things going on in the fire service as a whole is we've seen at the top of this mountain, the small snowball start to really gain momentum as it comes to mentorship in the fire service. And that's huge. And that's what I'm all about. That's what I want to give back. So for me, who's got a specific niche that I'm really looking at, man, getting published was to me akin to a guitar or a country music singer getting asked to play at the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah,
That was huge. Like probably one of the most hallmark, proud moments of my fire career. I've done some cool stuff. That was it. But then coming here and seeing all the things there are, talking to guys like you, talking to people out on the floor, making new friends, even going out to the bar and having a few drinks, talking to people, hearing this stuff. It sounds cliche, hackney perhaps, but I would call it literally life-changing for the better, especially for somebody like me who wants to go out and perpetuate good cultural change and start to swing the bow of that ship a little bit.
Yeah, I love that. So let's expand a little bit. So you started your own company.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you want to try to bring what you're doing into what this place offers to not just presenting, but possibly having like stand or a booth or something like that over time?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the long story short is this is the 24th year in the fire service. Don't tell anybody. Don't run me out of here. But I thought somebody, police officer, sorry.
You're a good company. He was a cop for a little bit.
Right on.
Yeah.
So in the cop land, they got this standardized field training program that's baked in their fabric since the 70s. Hey, you're out of the police academy. We're going to put you with this person. They're going to teach you everything, how we do it on the street. The fire service, it's usually by trial by fire. Let's just throw something to the wall and see what sticks. And that's not working so well for us.
Right.
And I argue that we're the world's best problem solvers, right? We get a problem at random. We show up with tools, trucks, and brains, and we keep calling for those tools, trucks, and brains until we solve the problem. And we always do. And then we take it back to the firehouse and we try to fix the problem by replicating and training and getting better. But we as firefighters let us get in the way of being us because we also hate change and hate the way things are. So if the cops have been knocking this out of the park since the 70s, and it's not really baked into our fabric, I think our time to shine is now. And from what I've seen so far, by doing a whole bunch of these classes focusing on mentorship, legal dumpster fires, and how to bake in an actual standard program, that if you, and you are all trained on the same person, we should come out with the same results.
Right.
So if there's someone that we need to cut loose and cut bait, let's cut them. We're not keeping them in the fire service anymore. But if there's somebody we need to bring up because they're having a little bit of trouble, let's do that too. So that's what it's been all about. So basically getting the message out there and being supported by the FDIC group and instructors and people like you who are like, yeah, mentorship's a huge thing. Let's talk about this. That has been wildly successful. So I'm looking at some opportunities next year that I'm certainly going to pounce on as far as over the Lucas Stadium, the Ignite booths and things like that, getting a booth and be able to perpetuate and talk about this. It's not a thing I'm ever going to get rich on, and I'm okay with that. My wife's not. She's like, when are we going to make money? We're not, honey. I'm sorry. But more proud than that, we're going to make some change in the fire service together. It's not me. It's all of us. And
That's the payment. I don't mean to cut you
that
off.
is.
It's like what I do, like what we do, right? So like write articles, teach all over, wrote the book. You know, like, I don't make money on that.
Right.
Like, do the pod. We don't make money on that stuff. Seriously, like that. It's just to spread a message. And
Thank you.
people will try to break my balls about it. Oh, you're a schmuck. You know what I mean? No, it's not the intent. I didn't do this to get rich. Like I have a job. I have a great job. I love my job. You know, I like to share my message as best I can. I like to have the opportunity to try to mentor, inspire people.
Yeah.
You know, you don't realize like sometimes somebody listening to some of the shit you have to say made them stay a little longer when they were ready to leave, you know, and people don't realize that, you know, it's a massive impact and effect that we have indirectly most times. They don't even realize it, you know.
Well, and just one last part about that too is, you know, places will call me and they'll see our website and they'll be like, hey, you know, how much to bring you guys out here to do a class? I'm like, I don't know, what can you pay? I'm a terrible businessman. My wife hates it. I call her the CFO. She opens up QuickBooks. She's like,
Everybody gets the friends and family place.
yeah, she's like, why is everything in red? I don't know.
Right.
You know?
That's
Well,
funny.
Yeah, net zero training.
Yeah. That's why they renamed it. Yeah.
So that I occasionally be called the idea fairy, but an article along the lines of, you know, how the company officer is the FTO or the field training officer for
Right.
the law
Right.
enforcement.
Yeah.
I don't know, just saying, maybe.
Yeah, that might sound
But-
like a good order
Yeah.
for you to write.
Yeah.
Per se.
Yeah.
It's important that an FTO in a law enforcement agency, that's not something that, you know, you wake up one morning and say, you know what, I want to be a field training officer.
Oh.
Hey, Cap, can I be a field training officer? You want to be a field training officer? Yeah, sure, you can be a field training officer. Go ahead. It's
You're not knocking down the door.
no, it's a it's a premier position. Number one. Number two, it takes a minute to get to that status, and you look at it like an academy instructor. If you're going to teach something, you probably need to know what you need to teach.
Uh-huh.
So there's the vetting of that. It's an important deal. And in the fire service, your company officer is your FTO,
Absolutely.
and that is your company officer knocking it out of the park for every single thing in your organization, all your policies, all your procedures, can handle all your tactics, is an expert in that realm.
Yeah.
And can help you pass the test.
Yep.
Right. And the FTO can.
Right.
There's a dichotomy there.
Perfectly said. Absolutely perfectly said. And it's baked into the fabric of what law. You got generations of cops that have retired that have been part of this FTO thing. For us, it's usually you haven't been in trouble in a while. Why don't you train the probie? You know what I mean? And that's what we do. And it's just because that's how we've always done it. You know.
I see a lot of value in your senior man guy also with that. Like,
Yes.
you know, but besides your company officer, finding those couple of guys that are old and salty and really know their stuff. And, you know, I always joke you could walk around a firehouse with a marker and just put sergeant stripes on somebody.
Yeah.
And they'll
You always
they'll step right up and do that
Yeah.
job.
Right. You always
And it's
said
like we almost need those sergeant stripes, you know,
Right.
and say, hey, you senior man, you're sergeant today, man. You're going to take
you're assistant to the regional
Yeah,
manager.
you're
Assistant,
to
good
the regional
reference.
manager, yeah.
Good reference.
Yeah.
Assistant to the assistant.
Yeah. Well, you know, and one of the things that's absolutely shocked me as I've taken this out there is, you know, in the first class we did last year, we've done about 24 classes now throughout the area. We're starting to move across the country. The thing that's really shocked me, like genuinely shocked me, is there's a lot of people like 4 or 5 years in the job that want to start making change. And the best thing that we can do for them is clear a path. Let them go. Just
Right.
water those seeds. Let them do their thing.
Right.
There's a couple guys
Just
I call
a
them.
little barrier and guidance, but yes.
Bingo.
absolutely.
That's also
Yeah.
right about where the stagnation starts to hit.
Right.
Because you come in, you got a ball of fire under you
Yep.
for the first few years.
Right. We try to snuff
And
that
you
out.
run out, you get your
Yeah.
certs, you're looking at the next promotion, you're looking at the next step up, you know, you get all your things you need. and you're a ball of fire, and then all of a sudden you just wake up one day and it's just, hey, I'm here.
Right.
You know, and you need to kind of light a fire under those guys again. You know, every 3 to 4 years, you kind of have to have something else to strive for. You're
Right.
just going to be stagnant.
Right.
And it's a heavy lift to bring a concept like this in the fire service. It doesn't just, you don't just automatically wave a wand and it's there. There's a lot of legwork that goes into that pays for itself later on. And a couple of the guys I caught up with here, young guys out of Muskegon Heights, great dudes. I wish I had that energy, man. They caught up with them last night and they're excited and they want to keep doing this. They're doing great things. And it's like, you know what? I didn't do that. They had that passion in their belly all along. And that's awesome. Let them go, man. Water those seeds, just like you said. Keep the bumpers in the alley of the bowling alley. Let them just go, and they're going to do awesome stuff long after I'm off the job and retired. You know,
It seems to me that a lot of the programs, a lot of the things we do, not just it being a program, but it's always got someone's name on top.
Mhm.
It's always got that guy that took the banner and ran with it, you know. And it's like once that flavor kind of goes away, it's like, who's the next guy? Right? You can start creating depth in those things too.
Well, it's talent management. You know, who within your company, your organization, your department, figure out what people's talents are and point that talent to the work and then support it. And talents change.
Right.
So as talents change and you've mentored and coached people into your talent and your talent has become different, recognize that talents change. And again, figure out the talent and point them in that direction. Like you had mentioned coming out here. Tried to come out here twice, pushing leadership classes. David is an amazing instructor, and his leadership stuff is off the chart. Awesome. The passion that he throws out there pales in comparison to just about anything you ever see. So he's a schmuck, but he's not a fugazi. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to take the class. But having said that, what brought Dave here was networking, because he had a talent for networking. And the thing was, is like, you're looking at the classes like, oh, I want to teach and this is what I want to do because I have a lot to say. And you do. What is not being said and where do you have a talent?
Right.
And it's networking.
Right.
And the networking piece got you here.
Yeah.
And then you have able to showcase another talent and they point the direction to there. And it's that.
Yeah.
Do that.
I agree.
that's cool.
No, I agree. Yeah. So just a lot of the things that we're talking. So for the people that are viewing, or if you're going to watch later or listen later, whatever, you know, just 4 people have a training background. We're on the board. Like, we're not just saying this to say it for FDIC. Like, you know, FDIC is huge. You know, people try to joke like, oh, well, it's exclusive. Like, yeah, but so's everything amazing in life.
Yeah.
And that's because they're trying to have the best of the best be able to offer information to the future best of the best, right? Like you were saying before about, you know, like we try to, like, every 3-4 years have to, like, kind of, you know, reset these people, you know, and who's going to take the banner later, right? You know, like I said in my class, we have to start training for succession. It's something that we don't do. We don't know how to do it. You know what I mean? Like, we want to train people just to hear, and I'm here, right? So if I train you to hear, that perception is that that's how you're going to train the next person. The next person. You see what my hand's doing?
Yeah.
What's the fire service doing?
Yeah. Right.
It's regressive. It's going
It's
down.
stepping down.
You know what I mean? What are we doing? That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be training giving everybody the opportunity to do better than us, giving everybody the opportunity to know something better than us. You know, like social media, man, I love it and I hate it. I love it because you can spread your information and spread your content and touch a lot more people than you ever could before. Right? I hate it because there's not enough vetting for the people that go on there that can stand themselves up as a fly-by-night. So where I'm going with this is just be careful of the information. Vet the information. You know, what was it that Reagan used to say? What was it? Trust but verify. Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, in this thing, we need to train people right, and we need to make sure that we're training the right folks and that they're then bringing back the right information. You know, I just get on my spiel about that because I always feel like that's like the most important thing that people need to understand is like, while training is extremely the most personally the most important avenue in the fire service. Make sure we're training the right information, and that the people that are getting are the right people to retain information.
I agree, and you touched on something too about the exclusivity of it. And if you're going to look at perception versus perspective, which is a big thing that we teach, I got rejected to teach last year. Right? But if I look back at why, yeah, I probably were rejected. I got great stuff. I'm a great speaker. I'm entertaining. I'm larger than life. I'll put on a heck of a show for you. But they did the right thing by denying my application last time, because I would have done the same thing. Knowing what I know now, I can't be mad at that. They want this to be, like you said, the Super Bowl. You want the best of the best. Right. Succession planning, turn out the best quality products for our community, our brothers and sisters. I would reject it too. I'm not mad about it. Apply next year and make it better, and keep doing the same thing till it happens.
You got to be a little bit humble.
Yeah.
Right? You got to be willing to accept feedback. Feedback's a gift.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's not always good. It's not always bad.
Yeah.
It's always a gift.
Yeah.
You take that feedback, you adjust course, you adjust fire, you move forward. I mean,
Right.
What do we do after every fire we go to?
We
You do an AAR. You talk about it. What can we do better next time, right? What's the piece of equipment we didn't have that we needed? Right?
Great thing that you're saying.
Everything that you do, especially when you're developing a course or training or whatever, you kind of have to float it out there a couple of times, and then it comes back and it gets a little better. It gets a little better, and it gets a little better, and then you kind of find your way to the right thing. It's a gift. Feedback is a gift.
Right.
I love the perception versus perspective. I try to push that a lot. I love that. That is the task, tactics, strategy of conflict resolution, leadership, and working with people.
Yeah.
Perception, perspective. If you can understand somebody's perception and apply it with your perspective,
Bingo.
it is sky's the limit.
Right.
Well said, brother.
I love that.
Thanks, man.
That is a huge thing for me.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Well, thanks. And honestly, I'll tell you, when I started kind of introducing that, I'm like, we're all a bunch of blue collar guys talking to blue collar profession. Is that going to stick? Are they going to get it? I'll be honest with you. To my amazement and even humbly some surprise, people were really clung to, like, yeah, I get that. Okay, I can get behind that, and that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that too.
I think success can be measured when you can say A shift understood B shift's perspective,
Oh yeah.
and they articulated their perception appropriately, and the kitchen got clean.
Right.
Steve, if you
And
have that
nobody
bottle up,
died.
I'll buy it.
Right. Right. Right.
If you're selling that, I'll buy it. I think one of the trickiest things we do as the training officers is kind of be the conductor to that orchestra.
Yeah.
You got to kind of get all the personalities and the bodies, the different motivations, the different perspectives,
Right.
somehow cram them all in line to get done what you're trying to get done.
Right.
And boy, managing those interpersonal relationships is a big part of the job.
When we worked together, so there were days where it would, and I'm not picking anybody, just it's funny you say that. It's like from the training perspective, like Dee just said, it's so taxing on you, the human, you, the training officer, which people don't understand or respect or appreciate, right? So we have to adjust our mind and our methodology to all these different ways of the way they're going to retain and their motivation to learn, right? So when we worked up there, we had multiple shifts, the way the rotation worked on the schedule. So there were days where it was awesome, right? We had, it would be you are not it's like that expression, you're excited because the crew you have on the rig with you, you're like, if we get a fire today, we're in business.
Oh yeah.
So as a training officer, it's like you see the guys that show up to training and you're like, today's going to be a good day of training. And then you see, and you're like, today's going to be a hard day of training. I got to really try to jack up my best,
Yep.
So the point is, though, to share a quick story is years ago, John had sat through two things that I had to deliver. And one was my worst. And then I did another one like a few days later, and John was working. And he comes up to me afterward and he goes, "Pal, that's the Dave McGlynn I like to see. That was great. Everybody here, I'm looking around the room, everybody's head was nodding. It was the best way you ever did." I said, a few days ago, somebody was in a room that I just absolutely hated that they were in the room, and it ruined my day. And that's the crappy thing. That's the hard part in what we do is there could be one face that just, unfortunately, I hate that we psychologically empower these people that don't deserve it. that ruin your game. They throw off your game psychologically, you know?
We have the only position in the department that touches 100% of the guys,
Everybody, from
right?
chief
So
down to pro.
you have to deal with every personality in the whole place.
Mhm.
You know, a company officer in my department might have to deal with 4 guys regularly, maybe 6.
Right.
Captain, 12 guys.
Right.
You know, shift supervisor, 36 guys. The train officer's got every single guy.
Yeah, everybody.
You know, and that's your favorite guy to your least favorite guy.
Right, and you have to,
Well,
and you
you're
have
all
to
part
train
of
them
the
the
family.
same. I have to give
Yeah.
you all the same
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
when your crazy uncle comes to Thanksgiving, like, yeah, okay, he's coming today, but we're gonna eat that turkey.
Well, you referenced the conducting a symphony, and my wife and I colloquially will speak to that when I come home from teaching a class. She's like, "Well, how was it?" Sometimes it's like teaching 5th graders how to play band for the first time. Sometimes it's conducting a professional symphony, and that's one of the biggest things I've had to adjust course on is when I'm teaching these classes. I had a great group not too long ago. I'm Irish also. As a going away present, the entire class gave me a potato. That was hilarious.
That's hilarious.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
There's
it's
other
awesome.
times it's like, any questions? Nope. They're filling out the evaluation, all one single line, out the door they go, and I'm like,
Yeah.
did I,
Did I have an impact?
yeah,
on
I'm
you?
like, yikes.
Right.
Other times it's like, man, we hit a home run on that one.
Right.
So yeah, it's tough, man.
There's nothing better when you walk away knowing you gave that good class thing, knowing
Oh.
that the message was received,
Right.
knowing that they got it. You know,
Bringing home potatoes.
It's very rewarding to
It's-
walk out of
yeah.
there, even when you don't
It's
have
the
a
reset
topic.
button for you as the instructor or the person
Oh, yeah.
facilitating it too. Is just seeing that is the reward.
But yes,
Yeah.
yeah. When you know you got him,
Yeah.
that gives you that warm fuzzy. You know you did your job.
Yeah.
Even if it's something you're not passionate about, if you grabbed them, you did well. you
Right.
know?
Right. Yeah, I
So-
agree with that.
I think there's you blended way towards it, and the law enforcement might track with this training. Another thing the cops do really, really good. Everything starts in training. Everything.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna change our less than lethal taser. We're gonna R&D starts training. Oh, we're gonna change body armor. R&D starts training. Oh, policy development or procedural development starts in training.
Right. I agree with that.
Everything starts in training, and they validate, and they make recommendations, and they do tweaking and all that.
They are much better organizationally at training than we are.
Well, that values training at a whole other level. It's not just teaching the class; it is maintaining the department standard
Right.
and making sure that it's vetted against something.
Right.
And it's service to leave.
So it holds up in court quite literally.
It holds up. Period. You're
Right.
exactly right. So I'm curious because talking about it, how does the fire service do that?
Well, short answer, coming here. Really, honestly, coming here. That's a good start.
Yeah.
Checking out guys like you, listen to the podcast, it's baked into the fabric of law enforcement where it's spoon fed to you. You don't have to work for it. In the fire service, you got to work a little bit harder for it. You got to cast a little bit wider net, but it's there. It's all there. You don't have to kick over too many rocks. Come to your local conferences. Go on. This is a free podcast. You can go on to YouTube and watch us right now. That's a good start.
Right.
Start doing that stuff. You got to work a little bit harder for it, but I think that makes you more cultured and well-rounded in the end. So you work for it a little bit. So what? You're better off for it, but it's all there. And coming to a place like this, I 35,000 people. I know about 15 people here, but every single person, I feel like we're all walking in unison towards the same common
Yeah.
theme.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
No, I agree
A lot
with
of
that.
walking.
A lot of walking.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of
These
ankles.
dogs
A lot
are
of
barking.
ankles are hurting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the other
I got inserts on.
you go out on the show floor, you go to the booths, the vendors, and whatnot. And okay, here's this whiz bang thing, whiz bang widget thing.
Right.
It's going to make life easier for you. Oh, it's expensive. We're not sure if we can do that. Okay, but there's a lot of people that would be like, well, where you at? Let's talk about getting you a demo.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get a demo unit of the whiz bang thing, the whiz bang
We must
widget.
have hung out with PDO. You know?
Yeah, you
Whiz-
take
whiz
it back.
banger.
You take it back, you try it, you run it through the paces, and now you prove that that's going to make operation and life better.
Yeah.
And as you said, how did you initiate that? You came here.
Yeah.
And that part of the training piece of it, because who does that?
Right.
You never take a demo unit and give it to Schiff
Right.
Yeah.
They'll
because you're
ruin it.
paying for it.
Yeah, it's
ruin
gonna
it.
have broken.
Guaranteed
Yeah.
you're going to pay for it.
Yep.
Someone has to be, the adult, I guess. Someone's got to be the adult and make sure that we're not breaking it. But The training officer seems to be the adult of the department under the most. Don't break the window. No, seriously, don't break the window. We can't break the windows. You know, the adult in it. But that is a big thing here that we talk or we fail to mention regularly is how many vendors are here and how much new age stuff is here. Oh my God.
Yeah, what's relevant that you can use into your department that you can train them on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things too that I've noticed here is that I mean, you literally have people from all over the world here, all over the world.
Oh yeah.
As attendees, as vendors. There was a guy. They're from Japan. They've got this like the Stores
Two
Connection.
guys from Japan from our thing. Yeah.
Coolest thing ever. I mean, just meeting new people who we're all walking the same walk from all over this planet and bringing them all here. Oh,
yeah.
You can't put a price on that.
It reminded me of coming to America, Eddie Murphy. They both had American flag hats on there. It's like waiting for them to come out like with the Jets and the Mets hat on. Yeah. I'm like, this is like a coming to America scene right now, you know. Yeah. But you're absolutely right. Like that tie back to FDIC. Bro, everybody's here.
Yep.
Everybody's here. It's why it's called FDIC International. You know, because it's not just like local American people coming here. Like there's dudes from Japan here. There's people from Canada here. There's people from everywhere here.
Yeah. I had a group of individuals from Abu Dhabi.
That's
in my class on Monday.
Yeah, that's cool.
I was floored.
That's super cool. That's like really neat. I had a guy from Iowa. That kind of felt like another country. You know?
Yeah.
He wants to bring me out to Iowa. I was like, hell yeah, I'll go to Iowa, bro. Like never been there before. You know?
New Jersey guys are from another world.
Well, yeah. You didn't grow too far from me.
It's been a very humbling experience, really. It kind of makes you feel like, you know, you're that. You kind of lets you know where you sit in the whole thing, but that there's something bigger to the whole thing. There's an energy. I know it sounds cliche. I know it sounds like I'm just plugging FDIC. I'm talking from my heart. There's an energy here that you can't replicate. Right. You know, it's something I'll carry with. I'll be back next year. If I'm not, I'll be yearning to come back the year after that.
Right.
You know?
Right. Good. Oh well. I'll start again. The end. Work our way down. And any final remarks from you, John?
No, just happy to be here. Happy to finally sit with you in one of these. We've been talking about it for years. Today, you told me about 5 minutes prior that I'll be on. So thank you for that. You're welcome. Had a great time out here this week. Again, if you ever get the chance to come out, please do it. It's a wonderful experience. Something for everybody. Every tool on earth is here. If you don't come home with some new knowledge in some way, shape, or form, you're nuts.
Yeah.
Super Bowl. Whether you can get a ticket or whether you can be on the playing field, the opportunity is there. You had said before, like it's exclusive. It is, but you can be part of that exclusivity. All you got to do is have something to say, have something to share, be passionate about it, and submit your class. Right. And there are people who are picked that have never taught here ever. Every single year, it's not possible. It's probable if you work at it and submit an article about what you want or what topic you're going to teach about. It's a preview of what you would present, and that is the way to get here.
I agree.
I think those are all really, really solid points. I'm honored. I'm honored to be here. This is my first time here. I'm sitting with some legends. I'm not blowing smoke here. I'm in my 40s. I've been doing this for 24 years. And I still got mentors. I mean, there's people that have helped shape this. So coming here and getting to meet the NFL heroes, this is a big deal. This is huge for me, and I'm honored to be here. I'm honored that you guys let me plug a little bit about my business and what I'm doing on the side, trying to make some change. It's a phenomenal experience, and if you've never been here, you book it for next year, man. Get here. This is awesome.
Come. And happy birthday to your kid.
Yeah, today's my kid's birthday. If I can, he's watching. Maybe he's not. I don't know what he's doing. Happy birthday, buddy.
Yeah. No, thank you. So, I love that you came. I love you came.
Thanks, brother.
So I wanted to get you on the show. We talked about that
we
for like
did.
a year, right? And I'm like, bro, you're gonna be at FDIC. I'm gonna really put you on the show.
Yeah,
Watch this,
man.
You know what I mean? We're gonna do it like with Mark doing it. We're gonna put you really on the spot. So I appreciate it. John, I'm glad we finally got to do it. Hammy and I have done these shows like that. Like 30 of these already between Baltimore shows and that's
a few.
Yeah, just a few. Yeah. No, but thank you guys for coming. All training officer perspectives telling you why this is important. So shameless plug. So I'm here. my kids are in Ocean City. My daughter does competition cheer. So go Angela and go Team Liberty and hit 0. And for all the cheer dads out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm ashamed that I know what that means. But anyway, yeah, seriously, come FDIC. Spend a lot of money, like the mayor of Indianapolis says every year. No, seriously, FDIC is awesome. It's the greatest time I've ever had in this profession. Second to my kids and my wife. It's one of my greatest accomplishments is being able to be out here with people and meeting people and being able to teach with people and having the honor to be on the board, review some of these great classes. I'm jacked up about it all the time. I'm a geek about it. People pick on me about it all the time. I don't give a shit. I love it. I talk about it all the time because I stick to my convictions on it. It's the greatest thing ever.
Well, don't forget that the reason that you're able to sit here is because somebody is at home,
Right.
who is taking care
Right. Thank you,
of the family.
Chrissy.
You know,
Yeah.
Jenny's home with Grayson, and there was no way to be here without that. And
That's a good point, brother.
I'm here to
Good
tell you,
plug.
it is a strong family dynamic
Right.
for you to be out here multiple years over and over again, and without them, that's just not possible.
Well said.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you. No, but so, seriously, thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Rhodes, Diane, Eric Schlett, the whole team, the fire engineering team, Pete Procchio, Mark, all you behind the cameras that you guys can't see right now. Everybody that put this whole production together, right? Thank you.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, really. There's a lot involved with this. People don't realize that. Like we're in a studio booth now. Remember, like God love Tammy. Remember when we used to be in the room with Tammy? I'm Tammy on the couch. It was like this is huge, and it's so cool. There's a lot that goes into this because it's that big of a deal. We're trying to bring the best that we can to you. Thank you for everybody that's given all of us the opportunity to be able to be part of that. Thank you for everybody that's attended that watched this. Keep putting in, write, come out, attend, bring back what you learned, and spread that shit with your department.
Yeah.
And that's it. Love you. This is Dave McGlynn with Fire Engineering Podcast, the training officer, live at FDIC. Joined with a great panel of training officers. Be safe.